Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a book review on Love Letters to the Dead by Ava DeLera. In my 1K giveaway, I asked you guys to please let me know what kind of videos you wanted to see from me, and I was overwhelmed by the amount of people who said book reviews because I think it's kind of commonly known on BookTube, even though it's so weird and you would think the total opposite, that book reviews aren't the most popular of videos. So I was just really very excited to see how many people still wanted book reviews. Love Letters to the Dead follows teenage Laurel, and she is dealing with the aftermath of her older sister May's death. May is everything that Laurel has ever aspired to be. She's always been her role model, she's always looked up to her. Even when Laurel finds out all of May's deep dark secrets, she still wants to be just like her. So Laurel is given this assignment by her English teacher, and she is supposed to write a letter to a dead person, a dead public figure, historical figure, something along those lines. And she chooses to send her letters to dead musicians and artists like Kurt Cobain, Jim Morrison, Heath Ledger, Judy Garland, Amelia Earhart, all very different sorts of people, but all artists who have died in tragic ways. The assignment is actually just to write one letter, and she doesn't even turn in the letter because it's so personal to her and she doesn't want to show it to her English teacher. Even after her English teacher gives her an extension, she still refuses to turn them in, but she keeps writing the letters, kind of keeping it as a diary. Through each letter, you get to know more of Laurel's story, and it kind of peels away the layers of what she has been through and what she's feeling. And it can be incredibly frustrating reading the story and not knowing what exactly is wrong with her, because you get the feeling that there is more. There is so much more to the story and to May's death than she's letting on. And you do find that out by the end of the story, but throughout the entire book, you keep having to wonder what's going on. And I feel like you're supposed to be frustrated with Laurel because every single other person in her life has that same frustration with her because she's not opening up. Laurel's story is very reminiscent of Charlie's story in The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. There are a lot of similarities to The Perks of Being a Wallflower and this story. There's a similar theme of a teenager dealing with the aftermath of a tragedy, going into high school and trying to make friends. There's a lot of strong themes in this book: suicide, drug abuse, sexual abuse, all dealing with teenagers, and it can be a little overwhelming at times, but at the same time, it's kind of subtly done. I feel like even though the themes are so strong in this book and they're like very important to the story, it's not overdone, which is good because I don't think anyone likes to read about sexual abuse or drug abuse or suicide or things of those nature, but I think that a lot of people have a higher tolerance to it than others. But this book kind of has a perfect balance of everything, and it's not too much. It's never too much. If you choose to pick up this book, one of the things that I would highly recommend is looking into the life of each of the people that Laurel writes to, each of the artists, each of the musicians, each of the actors. Laurel does give you a glimpse into their lives and their deaths, but I also think you should look into the music that she mentions, listen to the songs by Kurt Cobain and Amy Winehouse, watch the films that she talks about. I myself did that. I listened to the songs, I read the suicide notes, I listened to the 911 calls, and it just made the whole experience so much more unique and special and haunting in a way. Just because this is very reminiscent of The Perks of Being a Wallflower does not mean in any way that it is not its own story. Ava DeLera's writing is so different from Stephen Chbosky's, and it's so different from any YA author that I have ever read. She makes the simplest observations into such beautiful, unique experiences. Not only have I walked away from Love Letters to the Dead loving this story, but I have walked away with it loving a new debut author, and it's someone who I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be watching Ava DeLera like a hawk, seeing what she comes out with next, because she is bound to have an amazing career. In the comments below, you guys can let me know if you've read this book, what you thought about it, what you liked, what you didn't like. Also, if you might be interested in reading it after seeing this review. Alright guys, so that's all for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one.